Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina emphasizes on proper implementation of country's development plan so that independence achieved through the blood of millions of martyrs does not fail. Killer group could show the audacity of murdering Bangabandhu as Ziaur Rahman gave them courage and strength, says Obaidul Qadir. Instead of standing by the people, BNP leaders and activists engaged in clashes, even during Corona situation, says Information and Broadcasting Minister Dr. Hassan Mahmood. Doctors urging extra precautions to prevent deterioration of dengue situation. Two city corporations intensify activities to eradicate Aedes mosquitoes. NATO warns Taliban not to allow Afghanistan to become a fertile ground for militants again. And Bayern Munich win German Super Cup for a record 9th time, beating Borussia Dortmund 3-1. Assalamu alaikum. This is News at 10 on BTV, BTV World and BTV Jotlagram Centre. I'm Mahmoud Rahman. Those were the headlines. Let's move on now to the details. Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina has urged the secretaries of the government to carry out the development activities, keeping in mind that the existing development trend of the country might continue in future in the same manner. The Premier was speaking to secretaries of different ministries and divisions at the secretaries' meeting at NEC conference room in city's Sher-e-Bangla Nagar, joining virtually from her official residence, Ganobhavan. Mentioning that Bangladesh has already attained the status of developing nation, she said the country has a long way to go in future. Sheikh Hasina said the government has adopted development plans such as the Perspective Plan and Delta Plan to push the country ahead. The Prime Minister said her government's main goal is to provide a developed and better life to the grassroots people of the country.
লাখো শহীদের রক্তের বিনিময়ে অর্জিত স্বাধীনতা যেন কোনো রকম ব্যর্থ না হয়, আমরা এই বাংলাদেশকে এগিয়ে নিয়ে যাব উন্নত সমৃদ্ধ দেশ হিসেবে। ইতিমধ্যে আমরা উন্নয়নশীল দেশে মর্যাদা পেয়েছি, আমাদের ভবিষ্যতে আরো অনেক দূর যেতে হবে এবং সে পরিকল্পনা আমরা নিয়েছি, যেমন আমাদের প্রেক্ষিত পরিকল্পনা বা ডেল্টা প্ল্যান, সেগুলি মাথায় রেখেই আমাদের বাংলাদেশের উন্নয়নের পরিকল্পনা এবং তা বাস্তবায়ন যাতে যথাযথভাবে হয় এবং আমাদের একটাই লক্ষ্য যে একেবারে তৃণমূল পর্যায়ের মানুষগুলি তারা যেন একটা উন্নত জীবন পায়, দারিদ্র্যের হাত থেকে মুক্তি পায়, অন্ন বস্ত্র বাসস্থান চিকিৎসা শিক্ষার সুযোগটা পায়। বাংলাদেশ যেন যেভাবে এগিয়ে যাচ্ছে এভাবে যেন ভবিষ্যতেও এগিয়ে যেতে পারে, সেইভাবেই আমাদের কার্যক্রম চালাতে হবে এবং তারই ভিত্তিটা তৈরি আমরা করেছি এবং সেটা ধরে সামনে এগিয়ে নিয়ে যেতে হবে।
Cabinet Secretary Khondokar Anwarul Islam conducted the meeting. Cabinet Secretary Khondokar Anwarul Islam has said 21 crore 4 lakh doses of coronavirus vaccine have been promised from various sources, including COVAX. He said this following the Secretary's meeting at a briefing at the conference room of the Cabinet Division at the Secretariat.
কোভিডের জন্য যে অন্যতম যে জিনিসটা এখন টিকা, গত লাস্ট পারচেজ কমিটিতে আমরা 6 কোটি ভ্যাকসিন আপনার কেনার জন্য পারচেজ কমিটি অনুমোদন দিয়ে দিয়েছে। প্রতিশ্রুতি পেয়েছি আমরা 21 কোটি 4 লক্ষ ডোজের আর কি। অলরেডি আমরা 3 কোটি 10 লক্ষ কিনে নিয়ে এসেছি এবং আমরা এর মধ্যেই 2 কোটি 5 লক্ষ আপনার দিয়ে দেওয়া হয়েছে। মাননীয় প্রধানমন্ত্রীও নির্দেশনা দিয়ে দিয়েছেন যে শিক্ষা কার্যক্রম যেন যেভাবে হোক, ভার্চুয়ালি হোক বা অনলাইনে হোক চলুক, আর পাশাপাশি একটা কমফোর্টেবল সিনারিওতে আসলেই যেন এটা খুলে দেওয়া হয়।
Bangladesh reported 172 COVID-19 deaths and 7,248 new infections in the last 24 hours. Directorate General of Health Services, DGHS, in its routine daily statement today said this takes the total death toll to 24,719 from coronavirus and the tally of infections to 14,40,644. The recovery count also rose to 13,27,028, with another 12,112 patients recovering. The statement said 17.67% out of 41,014 samples tested positive. DGHS statistics showed of the people infected from the beginning, 92.11% recovered and 1.72% died. The statement said of the 172 deaths, 2 are between 11 to 20 years, 4 are between 21 to 30 years, 7 are between 31 to 40 years, 20 are between 41 to 50 years, 34 are between 51 to 60 years, 62 are between 61 to 70 years, 30 are between 71 to 80 years, 10 are between 81 to 90 years, and 3 are between 91 to 100 years. 94 out of the 172 people that died were male, while 78 were female. DGHS informed that 67 people died in Dhaka Division, 47 in Chattogram Division, 8 in Rajshahi Division, 16 died in Khulna Division, 5 died in Borishal Division, 15 in Sylhet Division, 4 died in Rangpur Division, and 10 died in Mymensingh Division. Dhaka North and South City corporations have assured of controlling the Aedes mosquitoes in the capital, even as the number of dengue patients is increasing daily. More than 4,000 people have been admitted to the hospitals with dengue fever in August. Out of them, 90% dengue patients came from every corner of the capital. Authorities of the two city corporations have boosted their activities to control dengue fever. The discussion marking the National Mourning Day. Awami League General Secretary also talked about more than one fake birthdays of BNP chairperson Begum Khaleda Zia.
15 আগস্টের মঞ্চের খুনিদের সঙ্গে জিয়াউর রহমানের সহযোগিতা সমর্থন না থাকলে 15 আগস্টের ঘটনা ঘটানোর দুঃসাহস খুনিদের ছিল না। জিয়াউর রহমানই তাদের শক্তি জুগিয়েছিল, সাহস দিয়েছিল। সেখানে হত্যাকাণ্ডের পর ডালিমকে বলেছিলেন জিয়া, ওয়েল ডান মেজর জিয়া, ইউ হ্যাভ ডান এ গ্রেট জব। ফখরুল সাহেবকে প্রশ্ন করি, জবাব পাই না। একজন একাধিকবারের প্রধানমন্ত্রী, তার জন্মদিবস কেন 6টি? এ প্রশ্নের জীবনী থেকে পাওয়া। 26 বছর ধরে জাতির সঙ্গে তামাশা করে আসছে একজন নেত্রী, যে আপনাদের চেয়ারপারসন, তার জন্মদিবস যদি 6টি হয়, এরকম দলনেত্রী, দেশনেত্রীর প্রতি মানুষের কি কোনো আস্থা থাকে? তাদের জন্মদিবস আসলে কোনটি, এটা একটু জানতে চাই। দয়া করে বলুন, প্রমাণ দিয়ে বলুন, তথ্য দিয়ে বলুন। আমি যা বললাম তথ্যের ভিত্তিতে বলেছি।
Juba Mohila League President Najma Akhtar chaired the discussion, which was also addressed by Awami League Joint General Secretary Dr. Dipu Moni, Publicity and Publications Secretary Dr. Abdus Subhan Golab, Women Affairs Secretary Meher Afroz Jumki, and Juba Mohila League General Secretary Professor Opu Ukil. Earlier in the morning, Obaidul Qadir addressed a discussion meeting as chief guest at Bangabandhu Avenue. Awami League Relief and Social Welfare Subcommittee organized the discussion meeting titled Bangabandhu's Philosophy on Natural Disaster Mitigation and Present Context. Obaidul Qadir said all have to remain united under the leadership of Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina so that no communal forces can destroy country's golden achievements. Awami League Presidium member Begum Motia Chaudhry chaired the discussion, which was also addressed by Awami League Presidium members Colonel Retired Farooq Khan and Abdur Rahman, Organising Secretary Ahmed Hussain, Dhaka South City Awami League General Secretary Mohammad Humayun Kabir, Shechchasevok League President Nirmal Ranjan Guho, and Shadhinota Chikitshok Porishad Secretary General Professor Dr. M.A. Aziz. Dhaka University Pro-Vice Chancellor Professor Dr. A.S.M. Maqsood Kamal presented keynote paper at the discussion. Awami League Relief and Social Welfare Subcommittee member Secretary Shujit Roy Nundi moderated the discussion. Later, anti-coronavirus materials were distributed among the representatives. Information and Broadcasting Minister Dr. Hassan Mahmood has said BNP leaders and activists are engaged in clashes even in corona crisis, abstaining from standing beside the people. The minister said this at a discussion and Oxygen Bank inauguration program at Bangladesh Film Development Corporation in Dhaka today. Expressing his heartfelt thanks to the people who are extending help to the people in the corona crisis, the Information Minister said Bangladesh is handling corona in a better way in comparison with many developed countries.
আমাদের দলের সর্বস্তরের নেতাকর্মীরা করোনার মধ্যে জনগণের পাশে দাঁড়িয়েছে এবং সেই পাশে দাঁড়াতে গিয়ে আমাদের কেন্দ্রীয় কমিটি 81 সদস্য বিশিষ্ট বাংলাদেশ আওয়ামী লীগের কেন্দ্রীয় কমিটি তার 5 জন মৃত্যুবরণ করেছে। মন্ত্রিসভার প্রায় অর্ধেক সদস্য একবার কিংবা দুবার করোনায় আক্রান্ত হয়েছে। একটি রাজনৈতিক দল দেখবেন জনগণের পাশে দাঁড়ায় নাই। এই করোনার মধ্যে কোথায় জনগণের পাশে দাঁড়াবে, মানুষকে সহায়তা করবে, সেটি না করে গতকাল বিএনপি ওই চন্দ্রিমা উদ্যানে গিয়ে জিয়া রহমানের তথাকথিত কবরে গিয়ে ফুল দেওয়ার নামে মারামারি করেছে, পুলিশের উপর ইট পাটকেল নিক্ষেপ করেছে। এই সময় কি এই কাজ করা উচিত? এই সময় তারা জনগণের পাশে থাকবে, জনগণকে সহায়তা করবে, সেটি না করে ফুল দিতে গিয়ে সেখানে মারামারি করেছে।
Lawmaker Umme Fatima Shuli Azad, BFDC Managing Director Nushat Yasmin, Film Director Dilwar Jahan Juntu, Actress Moshumi, Actor Omar Thani, Anand Jalil, Bangabandhu Sanskritik Jot General Secretary Arun Sarkar Rana, Actress Nipun and Borsha spoke among others. Later in the afternoon, Information and Broadcasting Minister Dr. Hassan Mahmood held a meeting with the representatives of advertisement makers and the Secretariat. He said the decision of providing fine of 2 lakh taka for every foreign artist and 20,000 taka for TV channels to air the advertisement by the makers will be effective soon.
সরকারের পক্ষ থেকে একটি প্রজ্ঞাপন করা হয়েছে এবং নীতিমালায় এটি সংযুক্ত করা হয়েছে। সেটি হচ্ছে বিদেশি শিল্পীরা বিজ্ঞাপনে অংশগ্রহণ করলে সেই ক্ষেত্রে সরকারকে 2 লক্ষ টাকা বিজ্ঞাপনী সংস্থা, যে বিজ্ঞাপনী সংস্থার মাধ্যমে হবে তাকে সরকারকে ফি দিতে হবে এবং যেই টেলিভিশন এই বিজ্ঞাপন দেখাবে তাদেরকে এককালীন 20,000 টাকা সরকারকে ফি দিতে হবে। হচ্ছে আমরা দেখতে পাচ্ছিলাম যে প্রচুর বিজ্ঞাপন, বাংলাদেশি পণ্যের বিজ্ঞাপন বিদেশ থেকে বানিয়ে আনা হয়। দেশীয় শিল্পীদেরকে সুরক্ষা দেওয়ার জন্য, দেশীয় শিল্পকে সুরক্ষা দেওয়ার লক্ষ্যে এটি করা হয়েছে।
State Minister for Information and Broadcasting Dr. Murad Hassan, Information and Broadcasting Secretary Mohammad Maqbul Hussain, Advertisement Organisation Asiatic Chairman Asaduzzaman Noor MP, Managing Director of Digital Expressions Syed Arsanul Apun, Managing Director of Unitrend Limited Munir Ahmed Khan, Managing Director of Matra Sanaul Arifin, Director of Anything Visual Wahid Tariq, Managing Director of 999 Global Noman Rabin, and co-founder of Rapture Entertainment Mohammad Ridwan Rahman Riyad welcomed the decision and assured of providing full support to make the decision effective. Director General of Bangladesh Television, Sohrab Hussain, additional secretaries of the Information Ministry, Mohammed Bangladesh has shown interest to import DAP and MOP fertilizer from Russia, while Russia is interested to take Bangladeshi mangoes. Both the countries expressed their interests when Russian ambassador in Bangladesh, Alexander Vikentevich Mantitsky, called on Agriculture Minister Dr. M. Abdul Razak at his ministry office at the Secretariat today. During the meeting, the Agriculture Minister requested Russia to reconsider potato import from Bangladesh, as standard quality potatoes are now being produced in the country. The Russian envoy assured Bangladesh to reconsider potato imports from Bangladesh. He also assured that Russia will give necessary assistance to resolve the Rohingya problem, with more than 10 lakh Myanmar nationals compelled to take shelter in Bangladesh due to ethnic violence in Myanmar. Industries Minister Nurul Mojid Mahmood Humayun has called for more local and foreign investment to accelerate industrialization in the implementation of Vision 2041. He also urged more Japanese investment in the expansion of the automobile, sugar, agri-food processing and ship recycling industries. The minister made the remarks during a courtesy call-on by Japanese ambassador in Dhaka, Ito Naoki, at his office room of the Ministry of Industries in Dhaka today. During the meeting, issues of mutual interest, including setting up of industrial plants and investment in accelerating massive industrialization in the country, were discussed. During the meeting, Mr. Naoki expressed satisfaction that the Memorandum of Understanding for the feasibility study of setting up a car manufacturing plant in Bangladesh by Mitsubishi Motors Company Limited of Japan is in the final stage. A discussion and dua mahfil was held on the occasion of the 46th martyrdom anniversary of Father of the Nation, Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman, and National Mourning Day at the Prime Minister's office in Dhaka today. Prime Minister's Private Industry and Investment Advisor, Salman Fazlur Rahman, Principal Secretary, Dr. Ahmed Kaikaus, Principal Coordinator, SDG Affairs, Zuena Aziz, Secretary to the Prime Minister's Office, Mohammad Tafadjal Hussain Mia, Prime Minister's Press Secretary, Ihsanul Karim, and Director General of Special Security Force, SSF, Major General Mohammad Majibur Rahman, among others, spoke on the occasion, paying homage to the Father of the Nation. Later, a special munajat was offered, seeking eternal peace of the souls of Bangamata, Bangabandhu, Begum Fazilatunessa Mujib, and other martyred members of the August 15 in 1975 carnage. During the munajat, all sought peace, progress and prosperity for the country and the nation. Officials from all levels of the Prime Minister's office took part in it. Now some international news. The Taliban must not let Afghanistan become a breeder ground for terrorism again, NATO said on Tuesday, warning that the alliance, after its withdrawal, still has the military power to strike any terrorist group from a distance. NATO Secretary General Jens Stoltenberg said this to reporters in his first press conference since the fall of Kabul to the Taliban. Meanwhile, the European Union say they will only cooperate with the Afghan government following the Taliban's return to power if it respects fundamental rights, including those of women, and prevents the use of Afghanistan's territory by terrorist organizations. The bloc's foreign policy chief, Josep Borrell, outlined the EU's stance in a statement after an emergency meeting of European Union foreign ministers on Tuesday to discuss the Taliban's quick seizure of the Afghan capital, Kabul. In the meantime, the Taliban's top political leaders have arrived back in Afghanistan from Qatar, where many were in exile. The COVID-19 global death toll crosses 43,98,000 and over 20,95,74,000 people have been infected globally. Besides, more than 18,78,44,000 people have recovered from the virus so far. Meanwhile, the US has now 3,78,96,000 confirmed cases and over 6,40,000 deaths. India has now 3,22,85,000 confirmed cases and over 4,32,000 deaths. Flight operations between Bangladesh and India will resume from August the 22nd under the air bubble arrangement between the two countries. Biman Bangladesh Airlines, in a statement, said that it will start operating 12 flights between India and Bangladesh from next week. As per the pact, both countries can operate international flights with certain restrictions during the COVID-19 pandemic. Now some sports news. Robert Lewandowski scored twice as Bayern Munich beat Borussia Dortmund by 3-1 and won the German Super Cup for the record 9th time. Lewandowski put Bayern ahead with a bullet header in the 41st minute of the match at Signal Iduna Park. Thomas Müller added a second for Bayern 4 minutes after the break. Dortmund captain Marco Reus pulled the goal back in the 64th minute of the match. In the 74th minute, Lewandowski scored his second and Bayern's third one. The 32-year-old has now scored 24 goals in as many games against Dortmund, where he spent 4 years, from 2010 to 2014. To wind up, here once again are the main points. Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina emphasizes on proper implementation of country's development plan so that independence achieved through the blood of millions of martyrs does not fail. Killer group could show the audacity of murdering Bangabandhu as Ziaur Rahman gave them courage and strength, says Obaidul Qadir. Instead of standing by the people, BNP leaders and activists engaged in clashes even during Corona situation, says Information and Broadcasting Minister Dr. Hassan Mahmood. Doctors are urging extra precautions to prevent deterioration of dengue situation. 2 city corporations intensify activities to eradicate Aedes mosquitoes. NATO wants Taliban not to allow Afghanistan to become a fertile ground for militants again. And Bayern Munich win German Super Cup for a record 9th time, beating Borussia Dortmund 3-1. That's it from the newsroom for the moment. Thank you for being with us. We'd advise you to please follow the health guidelines and do please wear your mask.